You remember back in school when we used to go through multiple different classes, hard subjects, boring teachers, boring classes, and then for like two classes, the teachers have some like busy thing to do, so now we're free. We can just talk to people, we can even go to our friends' classes and like have fun and speak to people, and we have like a really good mood. That's something that you can't really get back once you graduate from school. So like once you're in school, like I'm graduated, so like once you're in school, you really, that's like one of the most happiest moments, purely because the teachers go away, so there's no one monitoring you, and when you keep a bunch of teenagers unmonitored, they just do random shit that they find super fun. We're so shackled to our seats, we're so shackled, like, oh yeah, we should do this, we should do that, don't do this, don't do that. But then once they're not there, we can have as much fun as we want. That's one of the best moments in school. That's something you'll never forget. You probably remember a lot of different periods of time where like for like a week, multiple classes would just not be there. The teachers are busy doing something. Maybe it's like a ceremony or program they're getting ready for. So you can have so much fun. And like we would just talk to other people, we talk to our friends, we would like play games, we'd make like the tables and everything and like sit around the table and like play a game or like discuss something. There's like two guys having like a deep conversation, maybe it's you with your friend. And then you watch something on the projector, like like you'll turn on the computer and watch something maybe. Like you remember when we used to do this. That used to be so much fun. The reason why it's so much fun is purely because we get to speak to our friends in this way that's very non-restrictive, in this way that we won't get stopped. Because we know for like the next 45 to 1 hour, like 1.5 hours, no teacher's gonna come in and like stop us and make us sit down. And we can actually like freely talk to our friends. That's a memorable moment because we get to speak to our friends, we get to make more connection with them. We should force that more into our lives. The way you can get that connection just normally is every day in school with recess or something, just ask like a deep question to your friends and just really get them talking. It doesn't have to be a personal question, it could just be a question that allows you guys to like really talk and get to know each other a little bit more. It could be something as stupid as just, yo, if you were in a zombie apocalypse and we were all like in everyone in this room had like a role to do, what do you think this guy's role will be? What do you think your role will be? What do you think my role will be? And like we could go team up and do this, like even if it's a dumbass question which isn't like personal or anything and you won't get to know like the person themselves, you really get to start talking about something and really have that like connection, that social experience, the same social experience you feel when there's no teacher, nobody that's going to check on you, and you just have conversations, you mess around, you play with your friends. You can force that. You can essentially just feel that multiple times every single week by just asking this deep question, and it really gets your brain thinking. If you're talking about random topics, which you probably don't, but you kind of have to force like the fun question to be asked. You could ask a deep question like, oh yeah, what do you respect most about your father? Oh yeah, what do you think your son and daughter will be like? How would you raise your son to be different from you? You can ask these questions, which would in a way still is very deep and you can start talking about it. But if the theme of the, you have to read the room, like theme of the room, like it's like everyone's having fun, you can't really just bring up a sentimental question. So best not, just read the room and then appropriately ask a question. If everyone's having fun, ask a fun question like, okay guys, if you were in a zombie apocalypse, what should we do? Where are we getting supplies from? Let's just imagine there's zombie apocalypse happening right now while we're in school. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna get home? Who are we gonna call? Like, who are we gonna team up with? Who's that guy gonna be? Who's gonna be this? Who's gonna be the scout? Who's gonna be the runners? Who's gonna be the resource guys and everything? This is like a very fun question that you could ask literally just one guy, let alone 6 people. And it really connects you guys, and you will never forget that. You'll never forget these type of deep conversations that you have. Let alone one-off conversations which you have, which are still like not like bad conversations, but they don't really connect you guys. The good conversations which still connects you guys, even if it's a short one, but a deep one, would improve your friendship, would make you more closer to that person, especially if it's like a personal question. So the next time you're in school, or the next time you're just hanging out with your friends anywhere that you like, you can get that euphoric feeling of, when the teachers don't come and then you can mess around. You can get that euphoric feeling if you just ask a very deep question. Remember, the deep question doesn't have to be a personal question. The deep question could simply be a question that's super fun. Some question that's like, what would you do in a zombie apocalypse? Okay, if I gave you a gun right now and you had to shoot like 10 of these people, who would you shoot? Like some random like bullshit question. Like especially guys, we will ask these like stupid questions to each other. This would really improve your friendship. Not only because you're having good conversation, but because you get to know what the other person is like. Even if it's not a personal question. Because like in the zombie apocalypse example, like you would get to know, okay, what does this guy think he'll do? What are his like downsides, but what is he good at in the zombie apocalypse? Who is he gonna hire? Blah blah blah. This will really improve your friendship. Like I did this with my friend yesterday. We were just walking home. We went to for my birthday party. I was having a birthday party, my own birthday party. We went to like a cafe where you can paint in plates and stuff. Like they'll give you plates. You can just paint, and it costs like $6, $8 per plate. So we just started painting and we went home. And while walking home, it's like a 30-minute walk home to my house, and then he's gonna go to his house. We were just having like a deep conversation. We went to a mall, we bought some food, we had a deep conversation about like, oh yeah, what would you be in a zombie apocalypse? Like who would we know? Like we mentioned everyone that we know in like our school and our friend group, and like who would die first, who would be the first one to lose it because like zombie apocalypse, and who would be the leader, who would be the runners who get the resources, who would be the guy that would have the AK because like he's a big heavy guy. So we always ask these questions, which again, it doesn't have to be like a personal question. It could literally be one of those deep questions. We got lost in conversation that we both missed 2 calls. I'm pretty sure, like totally. We both missed 2 calls that we didn't even realize that the phone was there, was on vibrate. We were just in the flow of conversation. 30-40 minutes passed just like that, and I'll never forget that conversation. Like I'll never forget like that deep, like get your brain type of working conversation. So next time you're with your friends, really just ask them some question that matches the room. If the room is quiet and everything and you're like in a deep mood, you might be asking them like, okay, so guys, how would each of you raise your son or daughter to be different from you? What's a trait that you have that you wouldn't want in your son? You have or you had that you wouldn't want in your son's life? And it really gets them thinking like, okay, what do I not want in my son? What's the one thing that I wouldn't like want my son to have? And that stuff really, really gets your brain thinking, really gets them liking you, because you allowed them to like think about their own future, and then like they'll open up and tell you something about themselves. You can imagine that if somebody asked you that, you would like them a lot, especially if they're your friend and they asked you that deep question. Not one, you would like them because they're your friend. 2, you would like them because like, okay, they went through the effort of asking like a deep question and really allowed you to talk and let your brain out and articulate what you just thought. And then you get to know the other person more, because chances are they'll give you an answer too. Now, another way you can help me is like, you can click like on this video or subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos just like this one. I have more videos on my channel. You can go click the little like icon or watch another video here. Bye.